Hey everybody, I hope that you're doing well. This is Hope Mama Eagle with Infinite Blessings, and I'm laughing that ancestors are telling me to share the story again, and I've shared it with different publications and talks and things already, but it's really a profound story that seems a little off color at first, but isn't. It's kind of borderline Dakini humor, I guess you would say, but it being Windy Wednesday and lots of people calling me with tummy issues right now because heading towards this really powerful full moon in Virgo, it's timely and I guess the ancestors saying it's important. So, to make a very long story short, I had someone really important that I needed to get a hold of back in the day, and this person happened to be in Hollywood at the time, VIP mover shaker kind of thing. And we were playing phone tag back and forth. And I was trying to get to sleep one night, and one of the ancestors popped in and said, "Call this person and tell them that they need to fart." And I said, "What the hell?" And they said, "Call them, leave them a message, tell them they need to fart." And I said, "I'm not calling anybody 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't care whose ancestor this is, and telling them that they need to fart." So had this long conversation. Those of you that know me know the work I do. Sometimes you tug a war back and forth with the ancestors. So eventually, this ancestor explained to me, very simple terms. They said, the person that you need to get a hold of has been involved in Hollywood nonsense for way too long, swallowed way too much hot air, and I was feeling bloated, uncomfortable, this and that and the other. And I said, "Okay, I get that part. Why the hell are you telling me to call him and tell him he needs to fart?" And they said, "Sometimes things are not what they appear to be, and sometimes they're more." And so they showed me an image of, how when the sand gets wet and you can take a stick, you can write in the sand. So they wrote down the acronym F.A.R.T. It stood for Forgive, Accept, Release, and Transcend. So they said, "Call him, tell him that he needs to fart. He's either going to laugh or he's going to cry. And either way, he's going to expel all that hot air so that he feels better and can get back to trying, flying, whatever else, he could be using his time for than all the nonsense he'd gotten caught up in." So it also makes me think of the funny story that my grandma used to tell me. Now, my grandma was, old school. She didn't mince words. And she happened to know this person that, ancestors told me to pass this message. So, she was always getting a kick out of that. But she was also telling me about this aspiring elder, is how she put it, back home that had been involved in some really bad stuff. And she didn't like him very much, so she called him Farting Horse. And then he did something that was really bad, that she said blew the sixth whistle, which in her teaching, the way that her grandpa, Nicholas Black Elk, had taught her, you have several whistles that represent um, degrees of emergency, I guess you would say. And when that seventh whistle is blown, it's like the Hunger Games, was how she put it. But this was way before anyone ever talked about the Hunger Games. And so the way she put it, Farting Horse messed up royally, blew the sixth whistle, and then she passed a vision to me about someone special that she had raised, and that person had been accused of something they didn't do and was being held as a political prisoner with no evidence. And if that person didn't make it above and beyond that situation, that it would blow the seventh whistle. So on one hand, the acronym F.A.R.T, makes you kind of sit there and giggle, makes you laugh. Some people, it makes them get, indignant, kind of thing. But we all do it, I don't care who you are, how much money you have, what kind of car you drive, blah, blah, blah. You might do it in private, you might do it in public, that's fine. But, I know several of the elders that were promised, that were present when this person did what they did, that blew the sixth whistle. And they came to me and not only gifted me something that was very sacred, um, but also said that it represented the greatest joy and hope for all seven sacred campfires. So, on one hand, you're looking at this title, you're like, what the hell is she talking about? Is this Heyoka energy? What the hell is going on? On the other hand, when you think about how profound that statement is, my grandma called somebody farting horse, who has the ability to reverse the sixth whistle simply by forgiving, accepting, releasing, and transcending, so that we can free the person that represents the freedom of all people. And this other person that was in Hollywood who also promised to help was the one who kicked it all off. He was the one the ancestor came through saying to pass the message in the first place, which was really amazing. So I feel like there's always layers when the ancestors come in. It's not like it's linear. It's not like it's ABC 1 2 3. It's always a spiral. It goes in and then it comes back out. So they're talking about hump day because today's hump day, which when you talk about whale energy, I always think of hump day, humpback whale. You're talking about going beneath the surface. So again, layers. You're talking about using music and sound to heal. You're talking about the kind of sacred truth that travels across oceans. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop a whale. Not even a huge cruise liner ship. They go around it, they go under it. It's very powerful stuff. They recognize each other's sounds. People that are meant to be on your path or your journey or what have you, there's something about their sound that is familiar to you, that that you can trust. It's also hump day, so it's getting over the hump in the week. Now, I was talking with an amazing rabbi earlier, and we were talking about how it's not just the hump day in the week, but it's also the hump day heading towards this full moon in Virgo, because it's a very grounded full moon. Sometimes full moons can be intense, sometimes they can be airy-fairy, sometimes they can be wishy-washy, but this particular full moon is not only grounded, but it also has to do with tangibly receiving karmic reward. So whatever you prayed for on the new moon, the first new moon of 2021, that has anything to do with sustenance that you need to be able to help your family, to be able to help your community, to better things for Mother Earth and all her children, you're going to start to feel it more tangible from now until Saturday, which is when the full moon is at its height. Full moon is also like a pregnancy, so it's like energy building, momentum building till you hit the full moon, and then giving birth to new awareness, new perspective, all of that. So I'm saying all that to say that today's not only Windy Wednesday, day after Taco Tuesday, which is why the ancestors are cracking jokes about F.A.R.T, but it's also that hump day. It's getting over the hump. And right now, I think it's almost 5 o'clock. So it's kind of like the middle of the day for most people. It's the getting over the hump in the day, getting over the hump in the week, getting over the hump, heading towards this full moon, which tells you this full moon's going to be even more powerful than people are expecting. So it's kind of like knowing you're going to win the lottery. If you knew you were going to win millions of dollars on Saturday, you'd be preparing things a lot differently now, because there's a lot of people that have won the lottery that were not prepared for it and lost it like that, or told the wrong person, or what have you. So it's kind of a combination of heart smarts, brain smarts, and street smarts. But for the ancestors to say to come on here to share the story with y'all that I've shared before, obviously it's important to share it again. So the next time that you encounter somebody who's chock full of hot air, instead of getting all steamed up yourself, either say to yourself externally or think to yourself internally, poor baby just needs to fart. Guarantee you it'll at least make you smile, if not out belly laugh, which releases, any of your tension too. And it'll, send that positivity out into the universe. So I don't care how you were raised, I don't care how posh, proper, whatever, Ancestors are giving you express permission to fart to your heart's content as you continue to express your peace so that we can piece the rest and best together from Mother Earth and all her children. I love you all very, very much. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. The more the merrier. When you come to this channel, you're Ohana. Ohana or Dios Baye means no one gets left behind or forgotten. So namaste, optimistic, and I'll talk with you soon.